Page 7, Waltz of the Fairies. On page 6, they're introducing you to a thing in music we call ledger lines. Ledger lines, let's talk about we've been using one all along because middle C is on a ledger line. See, we have a bit of a problem with the written music. Well, there's a lot of problems with the one we're talking about. Is you only get 5 lines of 4 spaces. And then treble clef, bottom line is an E, the top line is an F. That's it. You can get these notes in the treble clef. Plus the spaces around them, you get those notes. We got a lot more notes. We use ledger lines. We just extend the staff up or down with ledger lines. They work exactly the same way as the lines within the staff. It's every other note. So it's like if the top note on treble clef is an F, 1 ledger line would be every other note, an A. 2 ledger lines is a C. That, by the way, is a very important note in written music and music in general, so memorize that. And then 3 would be an E. And you could keep going. The spaces are the other notes. Now going down in treble clef, of course, you know 1 ledger line is a C, it's middle C. And then an A, and then an F, and then a D, and then, yeah. Sometimes we need those notes in treble clef rather than bass clef, and that's why it overlaps. It makes more sense when you get there and you see what's going on. Same thing in bass clef. In bass clef, the bottom line is a G and the top line is an A, I hope. And you take the spaces that you got here. Well, again, G, an E, 1 ledger, a C is 2. That's an important note also. See, it's kind of, C's are important because middle C's in the middle of the grand staff. That's why it's called middle C. It's not in the middle of the keyboard, it's middle of the grand staff. And then these C's are in spaces equal. And then these C's are in 2 ledger lines. This is above and that's below. So they're symmetrical. And that's kind of handy just to know the C's. And then A, F, D, whatever. That's the way ledger lines work. In my opinion, just my opinion, you should eventually memorize up to 3 ledger lines above or below either staff. And the reason I don't go beyond 3 is because I can't look at the music and instantly know how many there are. I have to stop and count them. But if I had to stop and count them, what's the point in memorizing them? At that point, then I take a pencil and I write in the name of the note and the music so I don't have to figure it out again. That's the way I do it. But with 3 ledger lines, I can see 3, up to 3, and I know what they are. So I just memorize those notes. And they show you there on page 6 some examples of ledger lines. Well, okay. Let's talk about page 7. Here we're doing the thumb under the 2nd finger. Well, we did over the 2nd finger in the last one. This is the same thing, you're just going the other way. It's where you have the thumb somewhere here, and you just come up. You're starting on the 2nd finger rather than the thumb. It's the same idea. But if you relax, you can move a little bit, but don't twist around. Just reach with your thumb a little bit. It'll go if you'll relax. You'll have to leave it there unless you're going back and forth. But same thing. That's sort of what we're doing here. Anyway, let's talk about Waltz of the Fairies, whatever it is. Look it over, it's 4 lines long, treble bass clef, 3/4 time signature. Both hands are busy and we got accidentals going on. I got some flat signs and stuff. Right hand first, starting here. That's the position we're going to move around, but that's all right. So it's 1, 2, bring thumb, 1, 2, 1, rest. I don't like this. I think that's a poor fingering, but it's part of the lesson. So we'll go ahead and do it because it makes you work your thumb and index finger. So, but when you get to here, measure 3, rest, then you reach up. You don't have to move, just reach up. And then come back down, just moving 2. And it's the same fingering, but different rhythm for measure 5. 1 and 2 and rest. 2, 3, 1. Notice that's tied there on measure 7 and 8. And then you come back to it, do it again. Last line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, rest. Then thumb under, Yeah, that's good fingering. We do that quite a bit. Yeah. Left hand. The left hand, we got this going on. That's an E. That first note, 2 ledger lines. 1, 2, 3. Then go one more, F. That's basically all you're doing, left hand. So the last 2 measures, you're here, 2, 3, and then here. So then I try to put the hands together and see what happens. Now, I don't care if I hesitate right now. That's okay. I'm just trying to get an idea of which fingers are working together. So here, we're here, start. 1, 2, here, here. Rest. Get the idea? Measure 5. 1 and 2. Put the hands together. I already did. Then go back over it slowly and carefully, maybe 1 line at a time if you need to, and work out any hesitations so you have a steady beat. It doesn't matter how fast or slow you go right now, but no hesitations. And after that, I think about the articulation. For the most part, it's connected, but you have a few staccatos and accents. This left hand, they don't tell you much of anything, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you, connect these notes all the way through as best you can. And here, and then staccato. That's staccato, but that's not. Never here. Accent. Play a little louder. So I'm connecting this left hand all the way through, even though I'm lifting up in the right. We're doing different things in the hands at the same time, and it's important that we get that. And that's basically the articulation for the first 3 lines. Now the last line, it's here, connect. Now both hands are staccato. And both hands are staccato. Oh, okay. Once I have the articulation under control, then I try the dynamics. That applies to the melody, and in this case, that's the right hand. MP, mezzo, piano is sort of soft, whatever you think sort of soft is. Then you crescendo up to moderately loud. The second measure, that first note is still moderately soft. You haven't changed yet. And now you go up a little loud. Now you're moderately loud. The left hand stays out of the way. Makes the accented note measure 4 a loud note because the accent takes it up. And they don't give you anything else now until measure 7. So now we're still moderately loud in measure 5 in the right hand. The left hand's soft. Now, measure 7 and 8. You have the arrow to get softer. That's all you can do in the right hand. You play it moderately loud, it dies away on its own. But this, try and bring it up. This, about medium soft in here, and then make it go down. See, each one of these is a little softer, so that by the time you get to measure 8, the left hand is soft again. And then measure 9, you're like you were at the beginning. Now the last line, you're moderately loud in the right hand. And go up to loud. Right hand, no. The left hand, still in the background, in my opinion. Other people would interpret this a little differently, and that's fine, but that's what I'm suggesting. Then the speed. Well, allegro moderato again. It's think of people waltzing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Somewhere in there. And you end it loud. Yay, we're having a party. And then as far as interpretation goes, they're giving you pretty much what you need here, except remember the natural accent. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2. Feel the natural accent, one, as you're playing this. If you can, picture people waltzing in your mind. Now once you have this learned and you feel you're ready, let's try it together very slowly just to check the notes and the rhythms. I'll do the slurs and staccatos and the accent, but not doing dynamics, the louds and softs. We're not performing it, we're just checking notes and rhythms. So I'll give us 3 counts since it's 3 beats in a measure. 1, ready, go. Rest, rest.